Listen, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about Dr. Heavenly University and why I started Dr. Heavenly University. Listen, first and foremost, I want to leave a legacy for my children, and we want to make it a movement to help other women leave a legacy for their children and their families as well. Listen, there's a lot of people online talking about financial literacy and all that, but you never know who to trust, right? We got a whole team of people. I have 12 coaches that will coach you to millions, right? So first, we start out with mindset. We got Dr. Jackie. We're talking about healthcare mindset, because without your health, I think that's a very important piece that a lot of people are leaving off, because your health is your wealth. Then we start you where you're at. We can help you with your credit, getting your credit up to an 800 credit score. The only thing we probably can't remove is student loans, right? But we got so many people that's going to help you. We have real estate, so many investments. We show you how to invest. We have accountants, CPAs. I like people with credentials. I like people with credentials that have something to lose. We have attorneys that help you with your trust, okay? We have all kind of investment strategies, stocks and bonds, crypto, forex trading. We got every aspect of savings. And also, I think it's very important to have in your portfolio gold and silver, because it's, you know, our dollar is not backed by anything. And then we wrap it all up with a trust. Guys, you got to join Dr. Heavenly University. Guys, and we're starting it with a free webinar. Make sure you join our free, very free webinar today. And we're excited about having you, and we're going to change some lives. Let's go. My booty look big.
It is.
Okay, it's big. It's bigger. They said, Jackie don't say it ain't that big. It's big. They hating on my booty, ain't it? I know. Big. Oh. Switch. We got ammo back there.
Let me know when it was officially Labor Day. I shut it off.
I know that's right. Praise God.
I see Facebook.
Facebook, you gotta be on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. You on Facebook?
She don't know how to use Facebook no more, because Facebook done changed up so much, and it, like, algorithm's kind of off, so we don't know what to do.
We don't know what to do.
We need to pay a little baby.
It's my friend. She really told me. She thought I didn't want to tell Miss Janice I didn't know how to read it. I really want to know what you think. Okay. Thank you so much. She'll be right back with your check. You can stay for the talk. I know it's Friday.
No, you gotta come in. No, come on in, baby. Get on this side.
Yeah. Emerald, give us Emerald step deep to the left. Shut up.
There you go, baby. Yes, we got the book. The t-shirt's $40, the book $30. It's damn money, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna stand up and take one too.
Okay.
I'm gonna do.
That's up. Where you going, baby?
Okay.
All right, look at us.
You get all this here?
We're neighbors. So. We neighbors. Happy birthday, cousin. How are you, cousin? How you doing, cousin?
Yes.
Thank you. Y'all came out to get a book today?
I worked in the government for many years.
So and you a judge, ain't it? So you already
She gonna work.
Okay, we'll do. We'll do. I'm gonna be on the plane. If I don't finish, I'm gonna be on the plane. Like.
Do you have IG?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to send me a message, okay?
Okay.
and post this on your IG and tell everybody to pick up the book.
Okay.
How you doing, baby?
Right. I just want to tell you, keep me. You won't have
Oh, I can't help it.
I know. And keep on cousin Toya on now.
Cuss out. Toya my friend.
She your friend.
Everybody my friend.
I know your friend.
All of my friends. I cuss all of them.
You recording me? You said you recording.
You're going to be on the blog tomorrow.
That's all right then. But that's what I wanted to tell you.
You don't come on inside. Do you got one? Tell your man to come on. Come on. We are actually excited. We're actually promoting Daughter of a Junkie. Her new book is right out. Judge Terrinee Gundy. It has a new book, The Daughter of a Junkie. It's very insightful. It is a love story, okay? So it's exciting. It's a very good read, and make sure y'all pick it up. Daughter of a Junkie. We got to go. Where's the people? What? You gonna get the people? They all out there, but oh, she taking pictures. Well, see, we take the pictures in here. Do I need to get up and go get the people? Cause oh, she look cute. Look at her. She say she ready for the junkie. Okay, then. All right, she ready. Yes. Let's fill up the seats, baby. We ready. I think Unlike Dr. Jackie, I think that this is such a befitting title because it automatically draws you in, right? And it also tells a tale.
Thank you for saying that.
Oh, I love the title. I think it's perfect.
Thank you. Because you know our good friend Jackie was clutching her pearls. Like, and you know how she kindly talks to us. Well, do you want to think about that title? Not sure. Is there anything else? Is it a working title?
Listen, Jackie's good for a lot of things, but sometimes you have to go outside the box, okay? So what made you retitle your book, The Daughter of a Junkie?
It's very simple. My entire life, I have always called myself the daughter of a junkie. My father has smoked crack cocaine since 1978, over 40 years. And growing up, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Heavenly and I are both
Florida girls, right?
She's from Day, I'm from Duval. But I grew up in the poorest zip code in the state of Florida. And so, back when I was growing up, they used addiction against the addicts and their families. They constantly told us that it was something we should be ashamed of, or they tried to discredit our value as people and humans. Well, I'm obsessed with my daddy. I'm a daddy's girl. I love him. Despite his addiction, he was an amazing father to me. And very early on, my sister and I decided that we were going to tell our own story. We were never, ever going to allow someone to make us feel ashamed or less than because our father had a disease. And so you would meet us, and I would say, hey, I'm Terrinee, the daughter of a junkie. Hey, I'm Terrinee, the daughter of a J. So the title was very easy and simple for me because I had been calling myself that my entire life. Because I was going to own my own story so you would not have anything to use against me.
That is awesome. Don't y'all think that's awesome? Give it a round of applause. Yes, that is awesome. Because I know that everybody has something going on in their family. You know what I mean? I'm a married to Madison. Y'all don't know none of my stuff, okay? And you never will. But when I get ready, I'll write a book and I'll tell y'all. You know what I mean? All of the stuff. So what made you want to write a book about it?
My daughter is here with me.
Me and Michelle. Okay.
Yes. And as you said, I am a judge. And so I went through a lot of professional challenges for many years, for over 5 years, which I signed up to be a public servant. I wanted to be a lawyer since I was 7 because with a law degree, and I'm speaking to the young ladies here, you can do anything you want except practice medicine. So 2 degrees. You either get a medical degree or a law degree. And you don't have to be practicing law every single day. You can figure out whatever you're passionate about in law school. But that is the degree that will allow for you to determine as a young woman, a young black woman, what your future is going to look like. So I wanted to be a lawyer since I was 7 and a judge since I was 9. Again, I'm the daughter of a junkie. I'd had the training in the streets of the ghetto that prepared me to deal with an onset of attacks. That just came with my life. And I didn't complain for 5 years, even though the media treated me like I was a criminal and I had done something illegal. Again, because I'm a black woman. They did more stories on me in modern history than any other judge in the state of Georgia. Think about that. And I won't go through the list of things that other judges have been accused of or the things that they actually have done. And they haven't done close as many stories as they did on them. But I took all of that in stride. And, you know, we love our daughters.
Yes.
And we give them amazing birthday parties. And we celebrate them in the fashion that all black kids should be celebrated in. But when they put my child's birthday party on the news, it crossed the line for me. Because one, she's a child. She's a minor. She is not a public servant. And we are dealing with an all-time high of mental health, depression, and suicide rates in children, especially black children. And so that is the day, January 18, 2022, that I started writing.
Wow.
Because, thank you. I felt like I had to tell my own story. I felt like I had to protect my child.
Yes.
But as I wrote, I realized that my passion of eradicating the shame and stigma associated with addicts and their families kind of also took the lead. Because there's so many of us that suffer in silence. And I'm not sure why society has put this burden on children who are now adults. But we've carried this for decades. We don't acknowledge our parents. We don't acknowledge what they've gone through. We try to suppress it. But it's a real thing that honestly is unfair. Not just to the addict, but especially to the child. Why are children paying for the sins of adults? But they judged us. They put a stigma on us, and they try to make us ashamed of our loved ones and of ourselves.
Wow. And it looks like you've done amazing, and I want to say I'm so proud of you. You came through so much that many of us, and we don't even know. I never knew your dad was a junkie. I've been knowing you for years. I never knew that about you. But it's something that, like you said, because we come from such a hard past, we can get through anything because we don't care about what people say because they done said it already, right? I wanted to ask you a question. Give us some pearls from the book. What can we learn? Like, what is my daughter going to learn from this book?
So, Kasim Reed did the foreword.
Okay.
And I feel like he coined the best gem in the most impactful way. Kasim calls this, even though it's a memoir about my life story, he says that it's a leadership book about what to do when you don't know what to do. And now you have a guide in me who will show you throughout multiple, various, dangerous, complicated, trying situations of how you keep pushing through. What do you do when you don't know what to do? And I think that is probably, other than love conquers all always, I think that those two gems are really going to be the most impactful. Because once you realize that a little young black girl from the poorest zip code in the state of Florida, and again, I think I was talking to someone else, and we had to be adults at 8 and 9 years old because of our junkie parents. We were doing things at 8 and 9 years old that I couldn't even imagine my daughter having to do at 17. And so when you read about that and you see that even though I did all of these things, some kind of way by the grace of God, and Anthony and Linda, my parents, who put an unconditional love in me, or showed me an unconditional love, I was able to keep going and still lean towards the light, lean towards the love. I've never felt like I was anyone's victim. I never felt ashamed of who I was or where I come from. I actually celebrated. Yes, I've celebrated in a grander style now. But I've celebrated my parents and my family and the people who made sacrifices for me my entire life. Because But for them, I would not be me.
Wow, wow. You know, it's an interesting thing. I read your title. It's called The Daughter of a Junkie, a Love Story. Can you tell me what that love story is?
Yes, there is just love story after love story after love story. So my mom, my dad, my sister, and I coined the core four. And for us, the biggest thing, especially growing up in the ghetto, was to stay together. So you will hear a lot of stories in the book about me going into a crack house, negotiating my father out of it, me resuscitating my mom back to life, me not letting the police come in my house when I'm there alone at 5 years old. But none of that made me afraid. I was never fearful of any of that. The only thing I was fearful of was being separated from my family, not having the core four together. And so the reason the book is titled The Daughter of a Junkie, a true love story, is because not only did we have an abundance of love, I wanted to remind the world, because for some reason, when you come from a poor community or you're impoverished, they have this notion that we don't have the same humanity or concern or love for one another. Yeah, I'm from the poor zip code, and we understand life values and life skills in a way that maybe other communities don't, because they have the luxury of growing up slowly. We do not have that, but it wasn't even just that I didn't grow up slowly. I did not grow up with any self-doubt. My father believed in my abilities at a very young age. So much so where he told me that my participation, my contribution to our family, what did I just tell you, mattered. So at 5 years old, I worked for my father in his store. We had a clothing store. He and my mom waited on the customers. I rung them out, similar to we're at Dr. Heavenly's beauty supply store that is just beautiful. I mean, it's, yes, give it up for this black woman out here. But similar to the cash register over there, I ran the cash register at 5 years old. I stood on a milk crate, and everybody thought we were playing the silliest joke on them. Like, what is this little girl doing on? Until I rung them out with the correct amount, the correct count back, because at this time, I knew how to count faster and better than almost anyone. My father had taught me that. But he also taught me that my grandmother and my auntie who came to get me. It was Christmas Eve. I was working. I had worked all day. I'd worked my shift. And I was paid. My daddy paid me the exact same amount that he paid everyone else. And then, just a little bit older, he started paying me more, because he told the other employees I was better than them. And not to mention, he like, and tomorrow, all your cousins who were older than me, they gonna be broke. You gonna have a pocket full of money.
Absolutely.
You gonna be able to do what you want. So that gave me a freedom.
What would you tell your younger self? You could be talking to your daughter. What would you tell your younger self is the key to all of your success?
It's so simple. Love conquers all, always. It would not change. I have the great fortune of being blessed to have known that as my young self. Everything I went through, everything I survived, the only reason that is what I would tell my younger self, my current self, and my future self. Never forget the love.
When she walk in a room, everybody got to get up.
Right.
I understand that.
Right.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and thank your
Did
team,
everybody get a book?
Thank my team, Tressa, me and Michelle. Ambrose. I thank my hometown people. The Marcus in the back who always shows up for me and his godchildren.
And I wanted to say this to you. I want to purchase every book you got left, every t-shirt you got left. I want to put it and just give it to the people that did not get a book. If y'all haven't got one yet, let's get y'all a book. I love this woman so much and she's done so much for the community. And things I could never say she's done that helped all of us. So God is so good.
Yes,
God
he
makes
is.
me cry. God is so good. God is so good.
No. I'm just gonna say this one thing about Heavenly.
Always.
You do. People say they know her from Married to Medicine, or they make judgments about her.
That's right.
And Heavenly knows this. She's okay with it. People come up to me and be like, Heavenly's your friend. I don't like her. And I'm like, you don't know her.
Yeah.
The person you see on TV is for the show. But I know this woman's hurt. And I'm going to tell you, like, not just what she just did for me today or right now. And I talk about it briefly in the book. My son had fallen and knocked his whole front tooth out, which was a big deal for me. Because when I was little, I knocked my tooth out and my parents couldn't afford to get it fixed. And when this happened, I was going through a divorce. And I couldn't afford, even as a lawyer, to get my child's mouth fixed. But I called Heavenly, and I didn't even tell her this. She didn't know. I was just going to overextend myself because I didn't want my child to have that over him as a young black man. And Heavenly, I went to 3 different specialists who told me they couldn't do anything. And I called Heavenly, and not only did she fix my baby's mouth, she told me she couldn't charge me. Y'all do not know this woman's heart.
How are you? She's beautiful. I got it. She's doing good. Praise the Lord. Did y'all get y'all book? Make sure y'all get y'all book outside. She's beautiful. How are you? Nice to meet you as well.
I have so much respect for you for now. Like, this is awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Make sure you get a book and a t-shirt and everything, okay?
This is awesome. Thank you.
All right. Let me find me a Michelle, because she the girl that take the money. Good. Make sure you get your book. I paid for all the books. Go ahead and get it. She gonna sign it for you, okay?
That's what we came for.
Yeah,
We
get
was
you a
here
book. Hey,
last
Mama,
week.
how you doing? Good. She got some books. It's a really good book. Judge Terrinee Gundy. Okay?
Well, your daughter doing such an
She's a
excellent
sweetheart.
job.
She having a good
Really
time.
is.
Yeah. You know what? We work hard for our kids. They say she's spoiled. I know she's spoiled, but I work hard for my daughter to have the life she. Yeah. Yeah, I did my best. I did my best.
Thank you.
You got that? It wouldn't have went through. It wouldn't have went through no way. How much was it? I got it.
1,790. That's so rich. That's a lot.
I thought she was just, you know what I mean? You know how people be talking. She put me in her book for real. Look at that.
Girl, you have no idea how much that meant to me at that time in my life.
Anything you need, darling, you gotta. I'm your sister. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell
Anything
you.
you need.
I love you.
I love you guys too, for real. I mean, you gotta have people in your corner that you never know what's gonna happen in the world.
You thought I just said that?
I thought you just said that. I really did. I didn't think I was in your book. I really didn't. I didn't think you thought that much of it. I didn't think it was for real. The people really be saying I don't like her.
They do. They be like, they talking about, oh, I don't like. I said, girl, stop watching that TV. That's made up.
Y'all is
don't know my
sweet. Y'all
baby.
so sweet.
I said, but she gonna keep y'all on TV.
I mean, we got 10 seasons there where I'm doing something right.
Okay.
How are you?
Good. How y'all doing? Hold on. What that phone? All right, babies. All right.
Such an honor. I appreciate
No
you so
problem.
much. This is beautiful. I'm glad that okay.